Welcome. It is June the 17th, 2021. Oh, excuse me. It's June the 17th, 12:21 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2022. That on the left in the black is Liam Paro. He is ranked number one by the WBO at 140 pounds, 22-0 with 13 KOs, 26 years old, of Brisbane, Australia. You have Brock Jarvis on the right in the white, 20-0 with 18 KOs, 24 years old, of New South Wales. This fight right here is going to be basically the launch of Matchroom Australia. Going to be on the DAZN here in the States and over in Australia on September the 10th. Let me check real quick to see if that's going to be on a Saturday. That is going to be, yeah, on a Saturday. So on the undercard, we do know that we have heavyweight contender Demsey McKean. You also have female boxing prospect Skye Nicholson. And basically, they're missing one more fight, it seems, because I'm guessing that Skye Nicholson is going to open up the card. But I'm going to bring my colleague Big J in earlier today, actually about 2 hours ago, less than 2 hours ago, of shooting this video. They had a press conference. Big J, do you know what this press conference was?
Yeah, it would have been in somewhere in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane.
Okay.
So that's about an hour or so up the road from where the fight will actually be staged.
Okay. All right. When I first saw that this fight was announced a couple of days ago, I thought to myself that this was some risky matchmaking when you're putting together basically two fighters that really don't have to fight each other right now. 24-year-old Brock Jarvis, 20-0 with 18 KOs. So far, I don't see him ranked. I'm looking at the rankings right now, and I don't see him ranked anywhere at the moment. What do you think of him as a fighter, and what do you know about him?
Brock Jarvis, yeah, very good fighter. Jeff Fennick's protege. Lots of pressure fighter, lots of body work, just like Fennick used to be. But his last fight, which was it San Diego in California?
Fresno.
When he had his...
Yes, pretty much, yes.
Yeah, absolutely dreadful performance. I mean, out of all three of them, Demsey, Liam, and Brock's debut looked terrible because he almost got his ass knocked out by a Mexican journeyman. So, yeah, it didn't look good at all. And that was at 135. Now he's bumped up again to 140. And I'm wondering, can he take the power of punches from 140s? Because he's never fought at 140 before.
Yeah,
so,
and let me explain something, too. I have his box rec pulled up here. Now, he's fighting. This fight is taking place at 140. His last fight in October of 2021 was at 135. In April of 2021, he fought at 130. In 2019, before the pandemic, he fought at 122. So that's a big jump in weight right there for a fighter. Like this, like all those weight classes. And now he's fighting a guy in Liam Paro, 22-0 with 13 KOs, 26 years old, who is a 140-pound fighter naturally, and he's fought above the 140-pound limit at 147. Back in he's had multiple fights over the 140-pound limit. So that right there is a bit concerning to me and some very risky matchmaking for Matchroom the DAZN. Now, I understand that Eddie Hearn is launching, Matchroom the DAZN, over in Australia, and they needed, something to really get the fans buzzing. And, I'm guessing, obviously, he couldn't, secure some bigger fights. And, I don't know. I'm confused by this. I do like the fight because I think that somebody's going to get knocked out. But if I'm going to be picking someone, I'm going to be picking Liam Paro. And if Brock Jarvis wins, then that's going to be a huge shocker to me and a big feather in his cap.
I'm not a huge... I'm a huge fan of both fighters, but I'm not a huge fan of this fight. I think it's rushed. I think it's unnecessary. And it's a massive lose-lose for Liam, because if he loses, that's detrimental to his career. And if he wins, well, he's beaten a blown-up 122er.
Yeah.
So there's really no benefit for Liam. All the benefit is in, Brock's got everything to gain and nothing to lose, because if he loses, oh, well, he lost, maybe, he should focus on 135. But if Liam loses, yeah, it's going to be detrimental. But I don't think Liam should have, I think it'll be a good fight. it'll be a competitive fight. But yeah, you think that the experience of Liam, Liam should get over Brock, but Brock's got that height and reach advantage. I mean, he's a good 4 inches taller than Liam Paro is, because I've met him. I met him at the Pony Cambosis fight, and he's lucky to be 5'6". Brock's almost 5'10". You saw him at the face-off, just how much of a height difference there is, and a reach difference.
Has Brock Jarvis listed at 5'9". Now, I've said before in the past, BoxRec numbers, even for top boxers, don't come across as always accurate to me, especially when you meet the fighters in person. But yeah, Brock is listed at 5'9" on BoxRec, and Liam Paro's listed at 5'8.5". But clearly you see the height. Yeah, but clearly you see the difference, in the face-off, and it's a big difference. Exactly. I don't think that really, lifted shoes can really, you can't really say that's the difference. But you're gonna look at body frame and just tell, that Brock is the bigger fighter regarding height.
Well, obviously, yeah. But Liam is the far more established 140 pounder. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes about that. Liam's never fought a 140 in his life. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fight that, I mean, I'm going to enjoy watching it, but as you said, it's completely unnecessary at this stage for both fighters. But the big question is, where's Ebanie Bridges?
Yeah, well, she's announced a few weeks ago that she was going to be making a hard decision and relocating, from Australia to Leeds. And we've talked about it before in the past, and this was a concern of ours, is that pretty much it looks like, now we're not saying that it is, but, it's kind of a bad look because she's kind of, like turned her back a little bit on her country. And you have to wonder if this is going to come back to bite her in the ass later on in her career. Now, I understand money-wise, yes, she made the right financial decision, especially since, she's fighting in the UK. But sometimes, even like me being an outsider, not from Australia, and other, like some of the comments I've read, and even on social media, it just, it just looks like, well, damn, did she just give up on her country?
I mean, Skye lives in the UK and she's coming over. So.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe, that Eddie Hearn announced during this press conference that they're going to be trying to do 5 fights a year to establish Matchroom in the zone over in Australia. So Ebanie Bridges, he's going to bill her, as the biggest female Australian boxer. And maybe she's likely, I'm pretty sure, he's going to probably try to build a card around her and have Skye Nicholson on it, as well in the future. That looks like the plan to me.
Yeah, I look forward to that. That's probably what Eddie's doing. He'll just get out the teaser with the 2 young fellas, and then save Ebanie for a bigger card, which makes perfect business sense.
Yeah.
So, and remember, the zone is now $13.90 or pretty much $14 a month now. So that was smart of Eddie because he bumped it up from 3 to 14. The only way to watch these things is on the zone, so you have to pay $14 a month to get access to them, because Fox Sports and Main Event won't touch it. So.
Yeah, which is why he has to deliver on some fights, for that price bump. It's time for them to start getting aggressive over there. And I would guess that he's going to be looking at other fighters, like Justice Hooney, and even Sam Goodall, just to start building up that Australian stable. And Lucas Brown, we were hoping that he was going to possibly be on the card against Demsey McKean. But, I'm sure the prices probably went up on Lucas Brown after that knockout of Junior 5. But it looks like they're definitely missing one more fight. And maybe it's not too late for McKean and Lucas Brown to get something done. Maybe they're working on the deal. But in my personal opinion, I think that fight could be its own card. So that's why I'm not really holding out hope on it being Brown versus Demsey McKean.
Yeah, true. Well, you don't want to show all your cards in the first hand, so you don't want to put on a A+ show in the first one because everyone will keep expecting bigger and better every show. So yeah, just give them a little teaser and work from there. So, but Skye Nicholson will be fighting for a Commonwealth title, so I'm interested to see who her opponent's going to be. I mean, I thought it was a bit rushed, really. I mean, why have a press conference when you haven't even got all the fights in a row yet. I thought that was a bit rushed.
Yeah, I thought they could have waited a little while, but Eddie Hearn, he is a global promoter and busy dude, so I'm guessing, his schedule couldn't permit. And, they just had to get this out of the way, just to get it out there and start, like, really building it up and getting the fighters' profiles out there. Because originally, there was heavy talk that Liam Paro was going to face Jose Ramirez. And,
yeah.
And
in Townsville, of all places.
Yeah. And that fight would
have been good.
So
it fell through because Taylor... Sorry, no, you go ahead.
No, but it was both of them, right? He was in talks to either fight Tio or he was... But he was in advanced talks, from my understanding, to fight Jose Ramirez because it's all over Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, even the Townsville local paper, the Bulletin, wrote that the fight was possibly going to happen up there. So if the local paper in Townsville know about the fight, it must have been in heavy talks.
Yeah.
But Taylor, he stuffed all that up when he said, yeah, no, I'm not going to 147. He's staying where he is. Yeah. So fair enough. But, yeah.
Yeah, since then, for those who don't understand, Josh Taylor, where the division that Liam Paro fights in, he's looking for a title shot. He's number 1 ranked by the WBO. Is he the number 1 contender fully, or is he just ranked? I believe he's just number 1.
No, he's the number 1. I think he's a mandatory. They've made him mandatory.
Okay.
I think it was recent.
Okay.
Within the last month.
Okay, got you. So as it stands right now, Josh Taylor has vacated his WBA title, and you have he's still holding on to the WBC, IBF, and WBO. And he's going to be staying. It's not said yet who he's going to be fighting, but it's a good chance he's going to be fighting Jose Zepeda. And then, the winner of Liam Paro and Brock Jarvis. That's the next mandatory right there.
So that Jose Zamora, he's the IBF or WBC
Jose
mandatory.
Zepeda right now, he's the WBC.
Right, so is there an IBF mandatory in there or no, not yet?
I don't believe that's been fully determined yet between Jeremiah Ponce and Sabril Matias. I don't believe it's been.
What about Paro? Oh, sorry to cut you. What about Paro Jack Catterall? Because he got screwed. He should have.
Exactly. Well, pretty much Jack Catterall unfortunately got pushed to the back of the line. That's fucked up. That's
bullshit.
Pretty much, yeah. Because so
bullshit.
Basically he would be like the next mandatory status he would be able to get is the next after Paro, which would be a year after his shot. And he's not WBC, so yeah, it's fucked up. But he pretty much got pushed all the way to the back of the line. He has to be chosen as a voluntary.
What about the WBA belt? Could he contend for that?
No, because that's already been set between Alberto Pulo and I forgot the I believe it's Ismail Bakhtir Akhmadaliev. So that's already been decided. Alberto Pulo and Bakhtir Akhmadaliev, they're going to be fighting. Akhmadaliev got a controversial loss to Mario Barrios before Barrios fought Tank Davis. He actually broke Mario Barrios' jaw. So he's quality. It's a quality fight. So yeah, Jack Catterall is screwed. Is it?
Yeah, that's bullshit. I feel so sorry for him because he won that fight. Everyone knows that. But anyway.
Yeah. So but I mean, Teofimo and Jack Catterall can possibly fight. To be in an eliminator. But as it stands right now, the mandatories are all set. Locked up. 140 is a tough division right now, unless Josh Taylor vacates those belts. And right now he's staying because if Josh Taylor goes to 147, he's going to run into the same issues that Terrence Crawford ran into.
Exactly. Well, no, he won't because he'll be mandatory for Crawford with the WBO.
Yeah, but that would be. But as it stands right now, they're trying to work on the Errol Spence thing. And then they'll probably already have that mandatory in place. You can't leapfrog the current mandatory, from my understanding. But yeah, right now 140 and 147 are pretty locked. So, Liam Paro, Brock Jarvis, September the 10th here in the States is going to be on the DAZN. I'm guessing it's going to be an early morning fight for us. Main event at about 8:30 a.m. Eastern.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then, regular time over in Australia. So I'm going to be here covering the card. And then, when they give us a full breakdown of what's going to be on the undercard, we'll probably be doing individual videos and likely add Skye Nicholson to the rotation. Closing thoughts?
Still, I think it's going to be a competitive fight. It'll probably be a really, really good fight. But as I said, it's an unnecessary fight at this stage for both blokes. Particularly Liam, But, you know, I mean, you know, if this is what Matchroom wants to do to kick off their profile in Australia, then so be it. So we've got to throw your support behind it.
Yeah. All right, guys, take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. And the closer we get to the fight, we will be putting out a podcast on this event and all the Australian boxing sometime in probably, you know, a month or so before the fight. It'll be available on Google, iTunes, Spotify, and all of your other popular podcast platforms. Follow us on Twitter at Old Mate Big J. That's my colleague, and me at TstreeT Controversy. And thanks for watching. See you guys soon.